Right, welcome to the LK Predictions podcast. Three hunks and a hooker. I've actually got three hunks with me today. The very lovely James, the not so lovely Joe. No, you're right, really. And Sham as well. So you want to say hello, my little team?
Howdy. Hello.
Thanks for being really enthusiastic, Joe.
That's all right. I was just going to belittle you, but I thought it'd be rude. So carry on.
Nice to me, God's sake.
It's nice to be back. I haven't been here for about 6 weeks. I've had so many students in the evenings. I've wanted to die, but
no, you have been missed.
Good.
You have been missed. So we will crack on with talking about the Everton game. God, it seems like forever ago. So James, you probably watched it.
Yeah, I was up nice and early. ITV, great coverage, not. But yeah,
nice and early. Was it 1:45 kickoff?
Yeah, but you know,
like it was 7.
Yeah, but it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, mate. That's my day off.
You don't work, James.
No,
you know, in your pajamas and dressing gown, sitting on the sofa. Excited.
No, I'm a man's man. I just down in the pants. If my mum don't like it, she can go elsewhere. She knows where the door is. Don't be shy.
In her house.
Yeah. Got me mini egg cakes. I'm having a blast. Anyway, Everton, you know, I'd sort of panic because next to Bayern Munich in the first leg of the Champions League, I think Everton are the best side that played at the Emirates this season in that 1-1 draw, which we unfortunately conceded that screamer from Delafeu at the end. And, you know, I always worry when we play these high possession sides because, you know, as we break, they can break as well. Like as we push forward, we commit, you know, Sagna and Gibbs and that up, or Monreal, whatever. I can't remember who's playing. It was so long ago. But you know, we got some good goals. I was happy Ozil scored. I thought that was a really tidy finish for the first goal.
I think he needed that as well. He did need
it. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, Arteta getting that penalty as well. He was another player that was getting a lot of flack in the last few weeks, and for him to take two of them, I mean, the composure for the lad was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And Ozil's brilliance as well for, I think it was Giroud's second goal. He created that because Giroud would never have made that run. Ozil forced him basically to make that run for that goal, and that's the genius. That's the 42.5 million really. Yeah, that's what you pay for him.
I think the abuse he's got recently is so unjustified. I really think it's unfair that people have been slagging him off and everything. He's been a good player, and obviously it's going to take time for him to adjust to the Premier League. And he's had a pretty decent first season. Like in my opinion, not that it matters, obviously. I think he worked really well with Ramsey in the first half of the season.
He needs the runners, mate.
Yeah, I think he misses him because he set up a lot of Ramsey's goals, and they seem to have a good rapport together. But, you know, Ramsey's been injured, so I think Ozil, you know, Giroud, he's not as mobile, I suppose, you know. It's a shame we don't have a, shit-hot centre forward. But, you know, he has been making goals for him. And like you said, in the Everton game, the assist for the last goal was great. And, of course, he scored as well, so I was chuffed for him. And, of course, we're going to Wembley as well. And we should win it. I don't want to tempt fate, but we should win it. That's what I'm going to say. I don't want to tempt fate.
Who is it we got? Who have we got?
Wigan, the mighty Wigan, Wigan, then the mighty Hull Sheffield United. Like, really, we should batter them all 4-0 easily. You can put the reserves out.
I remember Birmingham.
What football happens. We remember Birmingham City. Remember Birmingham City. That was the worst day ever.
Blackburn,
Bradford.
You got to remember Wigan.
Burnley.
In a semi-final before. I know it's a few years back, but.
I know, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Jason Roberts.
I think that Uwe Rosler, who is manager of Wigan, he got over from Owen Coyle, who I felt a bit sad for because I'm like, everything you turn at the moment touches the shit. I mean, I feel sorry for the guy because he's not a bad manager, but I just don't know what he does. I don't know how he keeps failing everywhere he goes.
It's wearing shorts. He's wearing shorts on the touchline, mate.
That might be it, yeah. But I think Uwe Rosler, like Roberto Martinez before him, he's got quite a good grasp. I don't know if it's the German thing. I think he's got Wigan with the players that he's got because he didn't really have a transfer window or whatever. He's done quite well with them, I think.
But they're looking to come up as well, aren't they? I think they're fifth at the moment, so they could get a playoff place. And with Owen Coyle, they were in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, they were. They were doing really bad.
Well, never mind, eh? Don't worry about it. It's not us.
Did you watch the Everton game, Sham?
Yeah, I did. Like James said, it was a bit nerve-wracking at the start because when Everton came to the Emirates in the Premier League, I think December time, they got that draw and they played really well. and but we came out the blocks really fast. Arteta started springing them balls about. Ozil with that finish, so he got his confidence a bit, sky high for that game, for the rest of the game, and he started playing, good through balls, and it was a good victory at the end.
It was a very good result, and they made it out like it was very equal. But I think we battered them for a lot of the game, to be honest. I think the first half, I think Everton were very lucky to equalise.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant goal though by Ross Barkley.
It was a good run by Ross Barkley.
It was a really good goal.
Yeah, the annoying thing was that Flamini was ordering a yellow card, so Malcolm Tucker couldn't just take him out.
He couldn't. You knew for a fact he wanted to. You know for a fact he was like, I could just easily chomp your legs to bits.
But they need this FA Cup win, so we've got it, and I'm ecstatic.
I just think when we got the second goal, they just crumbled. I mean, when they had that breakaway and Barkley skied it, I believe if he had scored and they went 2-1, I believe we would have crumbled. I just think that's the way it would have got. Whoever got that next goal was going to win it.
I think Oxlade-Chamberlain had a solid game as well.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's
been great for the last few weeks, Sham. He's been totally on it. And if he doesn't go to the World Cup, I'll be absolutely shocked. He's been
He's a starter.
He's been miles better than everyone's going about how great Raheem Sterling is. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain's twice the player.
Why do you care about international football? It's boring.
Why do I care? Because
it's World Cup, it? Come on.
It's awesome. International football is awesome. When it's a World Cup and a European Championships, that's why we do the international break. Everyone moaned on Twitter, international, blah, blah, blah. Moan about it. It's like, you won't be moaning about it when we have 4 weeks of the World Cup in the summer, will you? I think people who moan about it shouldn't be allowed to watch the World Cup. Say, well, fuck you. You can't watch
the World Cup's brilliant. You get them deals on like Big Macs and stuff like that, don't you? It's all good.
Yeah, that's why I like it, of course, for the junk food. No, it's great. I always remember watching the World Cup when you're younger. I remember like the USA one, the one in France, the one in Korea. And it's great to watch all these players from, it's different now, isn't it? Because obviously you can stream games from the Moroccan League and League from South African things. So you get to see the players now. But when we were younger, we didn't get to see these players. And you're watching the Morocco team, you're like, oh, Mustafa Hadji, he looks awesome. I'd love Arsenal to sign him. And he goes to Coventry. It's great to see all these players that you don't get to see. You didn't get to see, but now, of course, you can watch every La Liga game and everything. It's the way of the world. It's the way of the world, I'm afraid. So, it's true. It's true. That's how I feel about it. World Cup's good. World Cup's good fun, and everyone's together. We're all together for England. Yeah, obviously, we know England aren't going to win it.
It's shit. I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. I just think they're such arrogant bastards. I have no time for them whatsoever.
I agree with you about the pointless friendlies. I mean, like Wilshere getting his injury, I'm like, that was a friendly to me. I'm like, I've got to test out my squad. I'm like, he basically knows he's 24, 23 men that he wants to take already. I'm like, I mean, we done it a few podcasts back, didn't we? The squads we take. I'm like, if we can do it, I know people go, oh, you've never spent a day in football, but if we can pick our squads, I think pretty much Super Boy can pick his team. I'm going to pick Sterling. I'm going to pick this one.
That's quite good. That's quite a good impression.
Yeah, my Mourinho's a bit good as well, but I'll say that for another day.
You'd pick Gary Hooper though, wouldn't you?
No, he's on a downer, mate. I'm sorry.
No, you don't think he deserves to play.
Back for me. He's not. I'm £10 down a pound with him.
How many goals he got to score? 10, is it?
He needs 10 league goals. I think he's on 6 or 7.
That's crap. You should have done the bet for 5.
Well, I thought I'm gonna shoot this. I'm gonna win this.
That's bad betting. Like, I always just bet of a Spurs fan that he always says, "Oh, Spurs are going to come above Arsenal every year." I'm like, all right, I'll take that bet, 20 quid. Yeah, every year. It's just like, there you go.
So, who out of us watched the Bayern Munich game? I actually did watch that one.
Watch that, yeah.
What, Joe? Yeah. What did you reckon? Did you reckon we'd win, or?
I didn't think we'd win. I think they played so well, though. I think they gave it their all.
I'm impressed they fought till the end. They
did fight to the end. Everyone just played their bit. Oxlade-Chamberlain was so good in the game, but you know how good Bayern Munich are, and Robin always falling over everywhere as well. It doesn't help matters. Yeah. But I was really annoyed with the press. They were kind of slagging us off a bit, weren't they? Saying, "Oh, we must improve in Europe" and all this kind of crap. Yet they felt sorry for City because they went out. And I think Arsenal were really, I was really proud of them. I was really proud of them after the Bayern Munich game. I mean, they played exceptionally well.
We knew that it was just a matter of going there and not getting thrashed, if you know what I mean. It was just about going there and holding our own. And we did that, they've been beaten at Allianz for 2 years now, so
Yeah, we're unbeaten at the Allianz. I'm pretty happy with that record.
And plus, when people talk about Arsenal and the media, how they should have finished first, our group was the group of death. Napoli went out on 13 points, whereas teams like Zenit went through on 6 points. And it's very unlucky on teams like Napoli to go out with 13 points, and we just about got there. We weren't even tipped to make it out that group at the start of the season, if I remember correct. So,
Yeah, everybody wrote us off.
I can't fault that.
In that group, mate. Everybody wrote us off.
Well, the press are funny, aren't they? Because they're saying things like, they said when we got that group, like, Arsenal, I'm going to make it out of that, I'm going to make it out of that. And then we make it out of that, and then they say, oh, well, Arsenal should do better.
The media have always hated Arsenal.
Yeah, I know. Why do they hate the Arsenal so much? Is it because we're foreign? I think that's my thinking about it. I think it's just because we're foreign and we change football, change it to modern football. And
because we've not given in to modern football. We've not just gone in and brought a team like that. I guess I don't know.
Well, I was saying, what I mean was, before Arsene Wenger came in, football culture was very different, especially at Arsenal. Everyone was an alcoholic, basically, weren't they? They'd just go out and get pissed all the time. And Arsene Wenger changed that, and he changed the diets. No one drank. He brought in new training methods, and he found young players abroad, and brought them through the team. And he made, championship-winning sides. And I just think people don't like it because he's not a hard English manager. Everyone's still, it's like when you hear 606 and they praise Stoke. And it's like, how can you praise Stoke? They play such ugly football. It's just basically rugby league, two-footed challenges, getting restarts. And Arsenal try and play a beautiful game of football. And everyone slags them off for it. It just, don't want to go into it. I'm not going to go into it anymore.
In that Bayern Munich game, if I can just chip in.
Of course you can.
the whole substitution thing with Miarchi, for me, I'm like, if he's ineligible, why haven't you sorted this out before you leave? For me,
was he going to play though?
Well, for me, I was like, why have you took someone that isn't going to play? I'm like, I didn't get this at all. And I mean, in the end, after we scored, I know Podolski sort of pushed Philip Lahm, but the finish was superb. But after that, Bayern Munich crumbled. And if we had a more competent striker or some fresh legs that could have come on, I reckon we would have done them, because they really looked on the ropes until, they got their penalty, which justice was done. I thought Fabianski, great double save.
Brilliant.
That's the only time. I try and watch as much European football as I can, and Bayern Munich have been unbeaten in the Bundesliga so far, and they're just trouncing teams for fun. But this is the most ropey I've seen them look. They really did look like, oh fuck, Arsenal could do us here, but we just had no energy. And it did annoy me, because I'm just like, that we had a chance there.
James, don't worry about it, mate. Worse things happen at sea. There's always next year.
There was a sniff there. There was a sniff that, if we just had.
There was a sniff, but you've got to think of it this way. I think if we'd gone through in the Champions League, and I think, we're still only 4 points behind Chelsea for the title. I don't think we're going to win the title. I think Man City or Chelsea are going to win it. But we got the FA Cup, and I'd rather we just won the FA Cup and got as high in the league as we can, rather than try and go through the Champions League and get to the semi-finals and get knocked out by Barcelona or something, get everyone injured, and then just ruin the whole season. More games.
Because what you mean with the fixture.
You know what Wenger's like. Because he thinks, if I win the Champions League, it will be the greatest thing ever. He'll put all the first teams in the Champions League and then think of the Wigan FA Cup. You know what? I might stick Gnabry in, or I might stick Monreal in, or I might stick Vermaelen in. Then they cost us the semi-final, and then we end up with nothing. We need to win something. And we want to win something, and win the FA Cup would be glorious. And this is a good chance, because we've got whole Sheffield United and Wigan, fucking hell, they could all play in the same pitch against Arsenal. We should batter them all.
Really.
Exactly, it's totally ours to beat. So we have to win it. And I think getting the Champions League out of the way, it's sad because we didn't go through, and obviously it'd be great to win it, but I don't think we will win it. We wouldn't have won it anyway.
We ain't got a big enough squad, I don't think.
No, exactly. We haven't got all the great players to do it as well. Like we always say, we need a class centre forward, and we do.
I'm sure that squad will come though.
I think it will. I don't think it's far away. We've always said this over the last few years. If we just had 2 world-class players, 2 or 3 world-class players would be okay. But we just need that striker, don't we? Maybe Yaya Sanogo is going to turn into Thierry Henry. We don't know.
Nicholas Anelka leaves.
I'll take Thierry Henry back right now, actually, I think.
Did you see his goal at the weekend?
Yeah.
Was it any good?
He's got a brilliant diving header. I've never seen him really score with his head, apart from that game against Man United when they were time wasting. But he was a pretty good diving header for the New York Red Bulls.
There was that one where I think came off the post, didn't it, and it hit him in the head. Was it that one? I might have been against Man City.
Chelsea, like fell in the net. Was it Chelsea?
Yeah, he fell in the net.
Yeah. I was
the
there
post and just hit him in the head.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah.
He got a few like that. I remember one against Liverpool when it kind of like hit him in the face and it went in when we beat him 4-2. I always remember that one as well. No? Okay, carry on.
Right, moving on to much better, really, really good result. North London derby.
Hey!
I didn't watch it. I did listen on the radio though.
Super Tom, what a strike!
All I heard was that Spurs deserve to get something from this, and I get so sick of everyone but us.
No, they didn't. They're in dreamland if they're thinking that. They're rubbish. Bloody Arsenal, Carson Mertesacker were on fire. They were never going to score, were they?
No,
Spurs. They haven't got that.
We were very, very lucky boys.
You think Arsenal were lucky?
Lucky boys. They played with fire and passion, my friend.
Yeah, I know that.
Carson Mertesacker were fantastic. The Spurs haven't got the creative spark anymore, have they? They haven't got Bale, who can just
how many
bail them out.
We've seen grit through games, and they commend them for it. I mean, all the people saying, Arsenal didn't deserve the win. I'm like, I thought we fucking were very lucky, but at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, and I'll take it against Spurs every day of the week. And when you score goals like that as well.
Yeah, exactly. We scored a good goal early on, and that pissed him off.
I mean, Chamberlain, I know you retweeted me, but I was like, what? I don't know what that shot was, cross pass, whatever it was.
Yeah, what was that all about?
And I mean, I know I give him a hard time, but fucking Giroud, I've got his stats up because I had a look earlier. He won 2 out of 8 headers. He had no shots in 90 minutes of standard play plus injury time. If he's the main striker, he ain't good enough.
It's not good. We know he's not good enough. We've known this for 2 years.
Making me, I'll try and stick up for him, but I just can't anymore. I just can't.
Yeah.
You don't need to stick up for him. He can stick up for himself. I think you just got to kind of say, well,
I think his wife's giving him that ultimatum of, if you want to sort
back to France,
go back.
Go back to France.
Go back.
Would it be even worse in France, actually?
I don't know who'd take him here, to be honest. Montpellier would probably gladly have him back.
Probably Leon will have him back on Monaco.
See the Arsenal surviving as like a squad player, like Dzeko.
He'd be all right. He'd be all right as a squad player.
I don't see him doing it like that. I just do not know. I'm like, I just can't see you ever against big teams. I know Spurs aren't a big team, but he talks about the importance of a North London derby and all that. At least Adebayor was getting in there trying to do something. He wasn't even doing that. He was on the wings. He was like back in defence sometimes. I'm like, I don't get what do you do?
You got to remember with Addy Paymore at the moment, he's on a bit of a high. Give it a week and he won't be happy. Watch him play on Saturday, he'll be shit. You know what he's like. He's the laziest bastard in the world.
The wings, I'm like, okay, but I'm like, what are you going to do once you get that ball? Because you can't cross. Nobody's tall enough to head that ball that you're going to cross in. He's playing where Cazorla and Podolski and that should be.
Yeah, he totally is. He hasn't got any skill. He's got quite a good touch on him, and he's good at bringing it down, and he does have a good shot on him. But no, he's not going to be a game changer, is he? He's not Robin van Persie 2 years ago.
Yeah, I just can't. Some people go, you get players that are Arsenal players. Like, do you know what I mean when I say that? And he just don't come across as an Arsenal player to me.
They're normally French, yeah.
He doesn't fit that mould for me.
No, he doesn't. You look at some other players like Loic Remy or Mathieu Valbuena, and you're like, they could play for Arsenal. And then you look at Giroud and you think, no.
Loic Remy, I know people go, rape charge this, rape charge that. He never was going to get done. I might just pay the money.
I would take Loic Remy, but do you think he would excel in the Arsenal team? Do you think he'd score 30 goals? Do you think he'd be like Robin van Persie or someone?
He'd get 20 plus a season.
Giroud's got 14 in the league or something.
If we'd have had someone like Loic Remy against Bayern Munich towards the end, I would have thought we could probably do this.
Well, he's Thierry Henry-esque, isn't he? And I'm surprised Arsenal's never gone for him.
His conversion rate, Giroud, is like 47% or something. And I'm like, if that's your main centre forward, then, you know, I mean, I done it the other podcast. He takes, 1 out of 9 chances to score when you got people like Suarez and Sturridge that convert 1 out of 3.
Yeah, but Suarez is on another planet, isn't he?
These are all strikers we could have gone and got, and yet we're stuck with this fucking lump. He's just a lump. I don't see. I know he gets his goals per game ratio is pretty good, but I'm like, you know, you got to score against these Chelseas and Man Cities and these big teams in Europe. He played 7 games in the Champions League and got 2 goals. Podolski played 1 game and scored 1. Do you know what I mean?
I think in the summer, I think they're trying to find a striker, but I don't know who the hell they're going to find.
It'll probably be this. I think it might be that Jackson Martinez. I hope it is.
Is that the Porto one? I haven't seen him play. I don't know anything about him.
I've actually. I mean, I think it was last week. It was in the Europa League, Porto versus Napoli, and he was shredding Napoli's defenders. He was, you know,
is he Portuguese?
He's Colombian. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see him at the World Cup then. I'll watch him then. It'll be like the old days. I'll watch him. He's good.
He scored a good goal, you know, volley from the corner, and he was just, you know, shoving people at Real Albiol like they were nothing, you know. And these are good.
Yeah, he's a big, strong lad, isn't he?
And even though he's big, he can run.
Yeah, can he make something out of nothing? That's what Van Persie used to do. Thierry Henry used to do that. You know, that's what they need.
I know people go, they're YouTube players and stuff like that, but if you watch some of his goals, Joe, he's different gravy, mate. He's different gravy.
Different gravy. Never heard that term, but I'll start using it.
He's Bisto.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Jackson Martinez, I'll have a look.
Right, moving on. James, you got a couple of questions, didn't you?
Yeah. Do you want the happier one, or do you want the more politically seriousy one for?
Happier one. Sorry about that. The video just came on.
Happier one.
You want the happier one?
No. Start with the political one first.
Okay, right. I thought it'd be good to discuss. Obviously, because Louise, you know, you come from like a mixed race background and whatever. You guys, you know, Sol Campbell. I don't know if you guys heard about this, saying he wasn't as the England captain because of the colour of his skin and not any his credentials as a player and as a captain. And I wanted to know if you guys, you know, do you think that's more I'm trying to sell a book, or do you believe he has a point?
I believe he has a point.
Yes, so do I. I actually think he does.
There was a good start on BBC that I think within the 3 or 4 English divisions, Chris Hughton is the only black manager.
I find that
hard to believe. Didn't they? Charlton, Powell, unfortunately. Unfortunately,
I find that hard to believe. You know, I mean, it's not about, you know, white or blacks or anything racial, but Sol Campbell, he was a good defender in his day, and you know, for England, when people younger than him who had less caps and stuff like that to get the captaincy, you know, I can see where he's coming from.
Well, I'm going to disagree to make this a bit controversial. Nothing to do with his race, I was going to say, but at the time when Campbell was an England player, we have to remember, 1, he wasn't captain for Arsenal, so it's strange putting him as a captain as England. And 2, of course, he was, at the time, David Beckham was the captain, and David Beckham was the face of world football then.
I understand David Beckham as a player and as a PR machine.
I think that's why he was captain. I think that was it. And
definitely. But when Beckham was injured and Michael Owens and stuff like this were made captains, I can see Sol Campbell's frustrations. And to me,
we had black captains before. Paul Ince was captain, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know. But when Ferdinand was made captain, he was like captain for a few days and then he lost it. So when they made this FA Super Commission thing earlier this year, they were like, "Oh, you haven't got any black people in the commission," and they went, and they hired one the next day, but they were like, "Well, why have you only done it now that it's been alerted to that you've not allowed any black people on it?" To me, I'm like, I don't know. I think he's got a point.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's got a point because I didn't really see him much as captain material either. I never thought of Sol Campbell. I never thought he was. And then he ditched him to go to Arsenal.
Yeah,
I'm not condemning him for that.
Why did he say he wanted to win? I wanted to win.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can't play for England and then go, fuck this, I want to play for Spain, can he? You can't kick England in. If you want to, you know, next to Tony Adams or whatever, I'd say he was the most competent English centre-back at the time. You know, Rio Ferdinand, yes, he got that big money move from Leeds to Man United, but he was at about, what, we're talking 2003, 2004. He wasn't really his prime. Like when he was with Vidic together, he weren't really, you know, a big star.
Rio Ferdinand always did all right, though. He's just knackered now, isn't he?
I mean, Giroud, Giroud, fucking hell, he's on my mind all the time. The player that he was going to, you know, he weren't there. I mean, Lampard was really sort of coming through. I can't see why Campbell weren't given at least a run with it. But hey,
did he get a couple of caps as captain or something like that?
I think he got given 1 or 2 games, but then they picked people like Michael Owen and
David Seaman had it a couple of times, I remember, didn't he? And Stevie Gerrard's had it. No, I just never really saw him as captain material, to be honest. And I think when you think of David Beckham as being the captain, you kind of think, well, he was the face of English football. Then he was the face of the England team. So it's like when you think Ronaldo's captain for Portugal, isn't he? You kind of think, well, he's not really a captain, but he's their star player and he's the face of the team. So
yeah,
that's what they do. And you got to remember as well, when Beckham was captain, Sven-Göran Eriksson was the manager, and Sven loved Beckham, didn't he? They were like best mates.
I'll never knock Beckham being the captain, but when Beckham wasn't, I'm just saying I thought Sol Campbell would be, you know, when I look at the teams and everything over those years, I'm like, Campbell would probably be the most likely candidate for me.
I just don't think it's based in his race.
I know I might get some slack for this, but it would have been him or probably Gary Neville would have been the two that I would have given it to.
Yeah, I'm not going to slack you off for saying Gary Neville. I probably would say Gary Neville would be a good captain. I think when Beckham went off in that Portugal game when we lost on penalties and Rooney stamped on Carvalho, wanker, but that's to Rooney, not Carvalho. I think Gary Neville took over the captaincy of that game. God, that was so long ago. That was a horrible game, wasn't it? Carry on, sorry.
Are you still there, James? You've gone all quiet.
Yeah. No, I just thought you might want to jump in, Louise. Obviously, you know, being from a mixed race background, I thought.
No, before Louise jumps in, I just want to say, you know, with the Terry and, I mean, when Ferdinand was captain, remember he was captain after Terry got.
He was captain after he. Well, Terry was wife, weren't he?
Yeah, Terry was captain. Then Rio Ferdinand was captain. Then the captaincy went off Ferdinand, went on to Terry again.
Yes.
And I think that's another classic example. So
yeah,
but I'm surprised that Sol Campbell never came up with it earlier, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you would have thought he would have said it a couple of years ago. When
that's why it sounds like he's just trying to sell books. That's
what it sounds like to me.
He's playing the race card. If you thought it at the time, say it then. Just don't bring it up a few years later when no one can do anything about it. That's what I think. He is just playing the race card, I think, personally. So he just needs to shut up.
Well, fair play.
Right, go on.
Happy question, James.
Yeah.
Happy question.
No, happy question. Right, obviously the Chelsea game is Arsene Wenger's 1000th game, and you know there's mixed opinions about the man on this podcast. I won't slag him off though. I haven't got time for arguments. But obviously I wanted to say, can you pick your best Arsene Wenger 11 and your best Arsene Wenger memory, please?
Do we have time for that?
Okay.
I've got mine in front of me now. If I have to do it,
go for it.
Okay. Well, my obviously best Arsene Wenger memory is him coming in and being a season ticket holder at the time. That double winning season of 97-98. I know the Invincibles as well, but when you're young, you know, your first team you sort of remember, and 98 was really my first World Cup that I got to understand, and that's when I really fell in love with football. And that 97-98 squad was my squad. That's
I always remember that.
If I'm going to say to someone, that's my team, like, you know, and that got broke up too early for my liking, but I won't blame Wenger for that. A lot of that was some of the players as well.
Yeah, but you got to remember that team just improved.
People like Overmars, Petit and Anelka and stuff like that. You can't help that. They were, you know, they just wanted to go in my eyes. I don't know.
But we got Henri, Gilberto Silva and Robert Pires instead.
Definitely.
So wasn't that a bad deal, really?
No,
it's not like you're getting Giroud, Gervinho, and Santos.
No.
Agree
with you.
Could be much worse.
Agree with you there. But anyway, I'll quickly do my Wenger 11 because, you know, well, I got David Seaman in goal, the man who was Movember before Movember was cool. I got the Cameroon Colossus, Lauren at right back, Sol Campbell, Adams in centre back, Unfortunately, I've got Cashley Cole at left back. Sorry, people, but
God, you can't get in there.
no, I've got Pires on the right. I've got Fabregas centre mid with Patrick Vieira. I've got Overmars on the left, and then up front I have Dennis Bergkamp and Henry. Obviously, the exceptions of the squad that are there now, I would pick them, but he hasn't won anything with them. That's the only I'd have them on the bench per se, but I wouldn't have them start because they haven't, won anything.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And
They might win the FA Cup though. So.
They might do, yeah. So I might change this.
Yeah, we'll see.
Why can you have asked me this question earlier so I could have thought up something?
I thought we'd probably all have the same look team, but hey,
yeah, mine's probably pretty similar to
mine's the
that.
same as what James just said.
Okay, that makes it easy. I'd say Seaman, I'd say Dixon, Campbell, Adams, Cashley. I'd have Pires, Vieira. I'm going to go Gilberto Silva, Ljungberg, Bergkamp, Henry.
Yeah, similar. The same back four as you, but in midfield I'd have Vieira, Petit, Ljungberg, Pires, and Henry Bergkamp.
I always loved him.
Controversial here, guys, but for me, Freddie Ljungberg had one good season.
Yeah, you really don't like him, do you? Freddie Ljungberg was someone I
don't hate him. I don't hate him. If I can find it, there is a picture of me at Cardiff with my
red hair. Yes, we know.
I in his Mercedes. He had a Mercedes CLK. I don't think it was a convertible, but I ruined the seats, and he went fucking mad because the dye wouldn't come out of the seats. He had to have that valeted and everything. He screamed at me. But I
saw Freddie Ljungberg screamed at you.
Ljungberg would scream at me. He wouldn't give me the time of day. But I think he just had the one good season, and some people get that.
He was great in 2004. I always just remember him being someone because he came in and he came from like a lower division Swedish side, didn't he? Halmstad or someone. And I remember him scoring on his debut against Man United, and that's always strikes a chord.
I've seen people today have been doing their Wenger 11s, and I'm like, yeah, can understand. But for me, I'm like, Ljungberg over Overmars, you can't justify it for me, because Overmars was a player, when Wenger bought, people went, fuck you doing that for? Because he was like Ruud van Nistelrooy. We reproached him, then he got a really bad injury.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? And he was out for a year.
And people were like, he's a fucking injury prone, he's a donkey and everything.
I liked Overmars. I'm not saying...
He's the fastest player I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt, faster than Theo.
Yeah, he was shit quick, wasn't he?
I
always remember that goal at Old Trafford against Man United.
Guys can, I'll say this to everybody who supports Arsenal that listens to this. TalkSport on Monday night had a show where they did...
Don't listen to TalkSport.
Oh, no,
it's horrible.
They had Ray Parlour, Winterburn, Brady and some others talking about Wenger and Wenger stories and Arsenal, and Nigel Winterburn said the best player I've played with ever was Mark Overmars, because I know I could give him the ball, he'd run and he'd either score himself or he'd cross it to a... He said it was easy with Mark Overmars. It was easy as anything.
Yeah.
I can't believe TalkSport have given Arsenal the time of day, to be honest. They hate us, don't they? With passion. They hate us more than pretty much most people.
I'm a big Stan Collymore fan. I think he's a brilliant,
come on, he's a women beater.
No, he's dreadful, James. He's in the same league as Andy Townsend. He's awful.
I disagree. He's got an annoying voice because he's a brummie. They all do.
He played for Southend. He played for Southend. That's the only thing I know about him. One of my exes loved him.
Yeah, if it weren't for him, Southend wouldn't have a stand. If it's the selling of Stan Collymore built that stand at Roots Hall.
That's brilliant.
I don't care about Southend.
Yeah, us Essex people do. We love Southend.
Okay.
Jelly deals.
It's Seasiders. I've been to Roots Hall before.
It's all right, isn't it? It's a good day out.
It was cold and the tea was really shit.
Yeah, but
you're going to lower league football. What do you expect?
Yeah, but I was taking a man. I was trying to win this man's heart, so I took him to his favourite football team.
He took him to Southend.
Yeah, he supports Southend. He had a Southend tattoo on his back.
Oh,
I have great taste in men, Joe.
Fucking hell, that's horrible.
Have we all said our favourite Wenger moment?
Wenger moment. I'm going to agree with you, James. That 97-98 team completely blew me away, and it is always a team that I remember as my favourite. And of course, everyone says the Invincibles were the best team we've ever had, but I just always remember that 97-98 team because before that there was a little period where we didn't really win the thing. I was just trying to I was getting into football and things, and I chose Arsenal because I met Ian Wright, blah blah blah. I know I go on about it all the time, and it was the team just blew me away, and everyone, boring Arsenal was completely changed overnight because we were the most boring team in the league, winning 1-0, bunch of alcoholics, and it changed and it was fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to go with 97, 98 definitely.
Cool. My favourite moment was when he fell over near that revolving door. That's
when he fell over. I do like when he can't zip up his coat.
Oh yes. No, yeah, they're good.
I hope and pray Puma, if he's there next season. I don't know, he hasn't signed anything yet. Yeah, get him buttons or something, please.
Velcro.
Yeah, get Velcro, anything.
Actually, I'm going to change my mind a little bit. There's nothing more I like seeing in the world than Arsene Wenger smiling. That's the one thing I love in the world. I love it when, we're beating someone amazing or we scored a good goal and he's just there fist pumping and celebrating. You're like, you go, because everyone, James gives you loads of stick all the time, unjustified, and you deserve to be happy. I want him to be happy more than anyone in the world.
Oh,
even me.
That's so sweet.
I love that man. He made our football club brilliant, James. He changed it.
I don't dispute that.
Remember,
don't start this.
Him, we'd be shit.
We'd
be in 12th place, like, I would say bottom wonders, but they're relegated. We'd be with someone like Tony Pulis playing long ball football. He's still playing at Highbury, trying to attract players. We'd be having players like Glenn Whelan and John Walters. And it would be...
Right, before you two start having your domestic... Let's get on with the predictions. We're going to be doing 3, actually. I thought you said it was 2, James. It was 3. There's Chelsea, Swansea, Man City.
Oh, I forgot that one. I apologise.
Yeah, cool. So, Chelsea, Arsenal. Obviously, I don't like to predict against Arsenal, so I'm not going to. So, I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal for that game. Shan, what do you reckon?
I'd have to say 1-1.
Joe?
They're going to lose.
I know.
Unfortunately, it's horrible.
You never know.
You never know.
I think Ramirez and Willian are suspended, and Mourinho could be in the stands because he got charged today doing this.
Did he? Yeah, right, he's going to get charged. If it was Arsene Wenger, he'd be castrated. But if it's Jose, we love you so much.
What do you think the score's going to be? We're going to lose, but how much?
8-0.
8-0? Joe?
Okay, we'll lose 2-0.
Jay, right? That's better.
I've been quiet because, I know I've rode Wenger about not spending money and ambition and everything. Well, you know what I mean. I've given him a hard time. Behave yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Man United is 2-0 now, by the way.
I don't know what you lot do over in Paris, but what I do, we're a bit calmer where I live.
We don't ride the football managers we adore. We just shake them by the hand.
Well, whatever you guys do,
we do the Bizou, of course, but
you do the Quinnell as well, mate. So I'd stop it. Right?
I don't do that.
anyway, let's finish there. I just have I've got this vision of me slagging him off and how he's never beat Mourinho and everything. Somehow he pulls the result out and he throws pie at my face, makes me look completely stupid.
I hope he does.
So, there's nothing I love more than being proved wrong, mate. I've said that on Twitter time and time again.
That's why
it's like people argue with me. You prove me wrong, then yeah, fair play. But until then, shut your mouth. But I just think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be 1-1. But it would not surprise me if in his 1000th game and everything, all the attention, all this, you're a specialist in failure, you're a this, you're a that, he somehow, hook or crook, gets it.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
I hope he does too, James.
The thing is, if he goes 1-0 and he brings on like 4 or 5 defenders like he did against Spurs, like we had 6 people behind the ball, if he scraps away like that, I'll be pissed off. But then again, it's 3 points against Chelsea.
3 points against Chelsea,
I'll be well happy.
Plus, it's not like they have any Drogba-esque strikers, do they?
I always think Hazard's a threat, mate. There's something always...
I've just had a little look. Obviously, I know we're 62, they're 66, and they've got a game. They're a game in front of us.
Yeah, but you got to remember Liverpool are going to win the league this year. It's their year, remember? So.
I hope not.
Sure.
God, I'd rather Chelsea or City win the league than Liverpool.
the league's in Man City's hands, ain't it? If they win all their games,
Man City.
hand.
Oh, I don't know about. I think Chelsea going to win.
It's not about game in hand though, lads. It's about points. At this time, it's about points and their goal difference as well. We're like 20 odd goals behind, and if it comes down to last game of the season, like City the other year winning it on goal difference, we won't win it on goal difference now. We're so many behind. I
won't be pissed off if we don't win the league, to be honest. I'll be pissed off if Liverpool win the league. That's what I'll be pissed off about. Because then they'll just go on about it for 1,000 years.
If we'd have had a world-class striker or someone that's a bit better than Giroud, if we signed him in, we'd be running away with this now.
Okay, let's not go into that.
Run away with
next
it.
game.
Next game is Arsenal-Swansea, which I think is going to be 2-0 to Arsenal, Joe.
3-0 Arsenal. They're going to batter them.
Sam.
2-0 to Arsenal.
And James.
I'm going to do 2-0.
Yes.
Swansea have been shocking the reason. I don't even know why they sacked Michael Laudrup, to be honest.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing too bad a job, was he?
Jeez. I think Michael Laudrup, like Andre Villas-Boas, not that he's a failure or he's a flop. I think he wants, he's like, I want more control, and they're like, nah.
Well, I think Swansea should give it to him, to be honest. Definitely.
I think he's a good man. I thought Laudrup was a bad manager, but like I've said to you before, and you've agreed with me, there's something about that League Cup that fucks teams over.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to say about. That's what I was going to say.
Challenge, isn't it, that League Cup?
I was going to say when we predict City, I think we could beat them because this League Cup, since they won it, they've gone out to Barcelona, which was obvious, but they got spanked on the night anyway. They lost to Wigan. They're not. A company got sent off the other week. They're not looking too great. And like when we got to League Cup final, we lost it, and then everything went to shit. As soon as that League Cup final happens, your season just falls apart. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a poison chalice, isn't it?
So I think the game against Man City. I know I'm ahead of you, Louise. Sorry, but I think we'll beat them.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. In my professional opinion, yes, I think we will.
Well, the City game, I really hope we beat them because I don't like them. Don't like any of them. I don't think we'll win that game personally, but...
Nah, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them, Louise.
What do you reckon the score's going to be?
They won the Carling Cup and their season's gone to shit. They're going to end up with just the Carling Cup to show for it. Just you watch.
Well, I'm not going to predict against Arsenal because it's against my religious beliefs to do that.
Religious beliefs?
Yeah.
The Ten Commandments of Louise's religion. Thou shall not predict against the Arsenal.
Do you want to come and join my church, Joe?
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Cheers.
Thou shall not commit adultery on there.
I don't commit adultery. I just have sex for money.
Does the clientele does?
Yeah, they do, but they're not in my church. That's fine. I don't care. They're paying me. Yeah. I reckon it'll be 1-0.
Home wrecker.
Fuck off. I reckon it'll be 1-0 to Arsenal then. James, what do you reckon?
Did you say James or Joe?
James.
I reckon we'll beat Man City 2-1.
Yeah, Sam?
Banana fingers. He's going to fuck up.
Sam, what do you reckon?
2-1.
And Joe,
I think we'll win. I'll go for something like 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
I think they'll score, but I think we'll have too much of them, and they're not looking too good. They're not looking too good at the moment, are they? So, League Cup.
The Spurs-Chelsea City game, I said to all my friends that we go down the pub with, I'm like, I'd be happy with 7 points.
Oh, definitely.
I said if you think out of them two who we can beat, I said we'll beat Spurs and we could beat City, but Chelsea.
It's 3-0 United RVP hat trick. Just
God, imagine if they win the Champions League. That'll be awful.
Olympiacos only need to score 1 though, because then they got the away, didn't they?
Yeah.
Come on, Olympiacos.
What time did it start? 7:45.
Yeah, I bet all the people in Manchester are sad today though.
Why?
Can't get any kebabs, can they? They're all watching the game.
Oh, James. Nothing like a bit of casual racism, is there?
Come on.
On that very lovely note, we'll wrap it up. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to share, and we will be back in a couple of weeks. All right?
Thank you.
Bye.